Good morning, everybody. For those who are actually in the European time zone, I guess good afternoon to all those who watch from Southeast Asia. Welcome here on HeflaTV 1. My name is Heflamoke, and I'm casting today with Couchor. We have Click and Search versus Arcanys in the MPGL Class S Pro League. So I like MPGL. We just, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, we just came back from Malaysia with some nice experiences, and we met so many nice people. Plus we had actually good Dota. We didn't see those two teams, unfortunately. I remember Arcanys from, yeah, you said it, last year and everything, but ever since their roster changed so much, you barely recognized them. Also, Click and Search had quite some changes. We have to see, I don't know, how they develop. At the moment, Click and Search, they look quite comfortable with this roster, to be honest. It really felt, I don't know, they didn't get too overconfident, even though they lost sometimes on the way out of the base, here and there some heroes, but it was really just because they had a good grip on this game anyway. Arcanys, it looked promising by the draft, but the half-life on Click and Search was not reached at all. This Bristleback IO combination needed at least another 5 to 10 minutes, plus a better laning, and the laning didn't work. Therefore, the push was easy going for Click and Search. Anyway, Couchor, let's go back in game number 2. The chance for Arcanys to come back here.
Yeah, they're going to have to do so, and hopefully they're going to just get a better draft, because I really think game number 1 was mostly already lost in the draft phase. It could have worked out for them, but they really needed spotless execution for that, and this just didn't happen with the support being 200 level like 15 minutes in, didn't even have level 6. But this game, Click and Search do go for the first pick gyrocopter, even after the hero has gotten nerfed twice now in a row. Of course, first nerf, it wasn't really a nerf, even just a little bit of intelligence, so like degrading. But Arcanys, once more, going for the clockwork. I have to say, the clockwork plays were pretty good last game.
Yeah.
They just didn't have like enough to follow up on it, though.
Yeah, the clockwork, the problem was the clockwork was against the tri-lane that just didn't work out. It was just too dangerous. Once he actually came out, and that was also the one time he fed the first blood. Other than that, he made quite some good plays, but ever since he went for the first hookshot, you could see that there's just a follow-up missing. Mostly the hookshots came after someone was dead. He was also never really lucky that he could finish someone off, and once that Shadow Fiend also got the BKB, or the Aegis for one of the last fights there, it was just, yeah, sure, you got a nice hook shot, but where is the damage coming from? That's the biggest problem. We also had, except for the Razor, nothing much that could actually do something against someone who is just surrounded by cogs. The Bounty Hunter can't go in there, Bristleback only has Quill Spray, so it really came down to the Razor, but the Razor himself was struggling in his lane because he had to rotate out after he had like, what, 40 CS or so, and that just didn't work. Like, none of the cores had really the power to punch through that Shadow Fiend with all the support. But let's see, they go for a Bristleback again, and this time, Click and Search, they get the gyrocopter through.
I mean, we'll see if they're going to go for like more of a wombo combo kind of style now. Maybe, let's say, pick up a Darkseer, for example, vacuum into cooldown. Definitely a pretty solid combination, because cooldown not only does it do quite a bit of damage, it also gives the slow on top of that. But for now, Click and Search picking up a Shadow Demon. To be honest, I think this even might be like a support gyrocopter, for example, roaming around with disruption, setting things up, then a rocket barrage to follow. Also, if you start with the homing missile, then disrupt, it gives enough time for the homing missile to actually get close and land.
That's the funny part, and also the good part about a gyrocopter first pick. You never know in what kind of position he plays. He might as well be a core, but you don't really give too much away, because there are quite some teams who play the gyrocopter in a support role, and I like it. I really like it. Rocket spam, for example, with Clarities and Mango, it's quite insane. Rocket barrage, well, it got nerfed in 6.84C, but to be honest, the nerf is not that incredible. Plus, once you reach level 3, you're almost back to the original damage, and on level 4, it's exactly the same. So he really just got this early game nerf. But I still think if you get caught out by Rocket Barrage, one-on-one, without creeps soaking anything, it still hurts like hell. And let's see if something like that comes out. Shadow Demon with a Disruption is of course a nice setup. I actually love that we have a team here that brings Shadow Demon back into the meta, because you rarely see that guy anymore.
It has become a little bit more popular now that the Leshrac is also just a go-to hero. But speaking of the Leshrac, it has been, of course, banned out by Arcanys, whereas a Visage and the Shadow Fiend taken out by Click and Search. But I would really like to see Click and Search once again go for like a little bit of extra magical damage, just to have that little bit of burst, which can benefit from the Soul Catcher of the Shadow Demon.
Yep, definitely. Now second round of buns are coming out. Let's see. No Visage. No Shadow Fiend. So Click and Search, what they had pretty much last game themselves. They don't want to give it to Arcanys. I'm not sure if Arcanys could have utilized it better. And on the other side, well, Wisp being banned out, they don't want to give it away. As well as the Draw Ranger. This reminds me of last game, except for the Wisp got through. Leshrac, Arcanys just don't want to have this push against them anymore. And they ban out the Viper as well. Having the Viper banned is nice for the Bristleback, because Bristlebacks are getting easily kited by Vipers. And of course also having the Viper is good for the Lina, because now all the magic damage actually goes through. Targets like Gyrocopter, pretty susceptible against, for example, Luna Blade. Oh Jesus, what am I talking? It's early morning here. Laguna Blade. Well, we have to still see where this Gyrocopter goes, in which position.
I mean, they can, like you said, go every which way with the Gyrocopter really, but Arcanys, this Lina, I think, is going to be a mid lane one, although can still be a support as well. They might even run to like weird dual off lane, for example, Clockwork. He can go rather aggressive. You go in, you get the cogs on somebody, Lina will follow up with an easy Light Strike array, maybe Dragon Slave if he has enough levels already. Plus the Battery Assault. They could put actually quite a bit of pressure on the enemy supports, but it will mostly come down to like the lane Click and Search goes for themselves, because if they go for like a proper setup with the Shadow Demon, have a proper tri-lane that can actually go and kill people easily, that's when you probably want to leave the Clockwork solo and just focus more so on your own tri-lane. It's just zoning out the enemy offlaner and getting farmed by pulling. But Click and Search, once more, get their hands on the Beastmaster.
Yep, but as I said already, like last game, the Beastmaster, he didn't do too much. He was never roaming, but to be honest, it's hard to judge off the last game, because like at what, 50 minutes in, they just transitioned into a death ball that never really stopped. They went from top to mid, got their axe in a bit forth and back fight, forced the first buybacks out, went into bottom, and there the GG call already came. So it was too fast and too furious to actually see the Beastmaster in action with his really dangerous Roar. Now, of course, the Roar is something you can easily use against the Bristleback, especially if you're retreating. You can also use it, of course, to get him a lot of damage, like magic damage on him, because when he's Roar, then the Gyrocopter has a nice setup, but we still need a lot more damage, I think. That Bristleback, we have to see if he gets enough farm time to actually be such a nuisance, because then I'm not sure if a Gyrocopter plus a Roar is enough to get him down, considering there is a Clockwork who can interrupt all this. There's a Rubik now as well, plus the Lina. We get a Dragon Knight, so that Dragon Knight is gonna end up in the mid, and that leaves the Gyrocopter in the safe lane, so it is a core Gyrocopter after all.
It's not necessarily a core Gyrocopter yet, I think, because it can still be Shadow Demon Gyrocopter supports, Beastmaster offlane, Dragon Knight mid, and then go for a safe laner, but to be honest, going for a Gyrocopter as the one position is always going to be solid. It gives you a really strong late game just with the Flak Cannon. And Lina and Rubik, not that great of just taking physical harassment like that from the Flak Cannon, in all honesty. But I must say, this Rubik pickup, I'm really hoping for great plays from that Rubik player. Primal Roar, even getting Call Down is going to be nice. Elder Dragon form is just fun to watch, if nothing else. Dragon Tail, I suppose, isn't the greatest, but it's really mostly all about that Primal Roar and just using that against Click and Search.
Yep. With the Dragon Knight, at least they get some sort of tankiness on their team. Beastmaster as such has a nice strength growth. Gyrocopter needs to get this up on items if he is core, if he's support. You already said it, there might be a fifth pick that is actually the core, and the Gyrocopter was all just a trap. Pretty much a deception. Bounty Hunter being banned out. Even though the last Bounty Hunter, he didn't really feel successful. The problem is just there were not enough kills and not enough tracks to actually benefit of that. Right click wise, magic damage wise, the Jinara was cool, but they never really got in a position where they needed someone slow to kill him. And of course the Shuriken toss, it was nice to defense have all these bounces, but he was so low level that they just could counter heal that easily. And we get an Invoker by Arcanys. Now it actually gets interesting. So that's a Bristleback Rubik Lina combination with an Invoker mid and a Clockwork offline. Do I see that right?
I would think so, yes. Although maybe even an aggressive tri-lane of Lina, Rubik, and Bristleback. Telekinesis into Light Strike array and then just Bristleback, a couple of quill sprays, and could be easy kills in all honesty. But I really like what Arcanys have been doing, and especially now the Click and Surge having gone for a Chen. That means that Chen being in the jungle would make the aggressive tri-lane even stronger for Arcanys, and I think Rubik with a telekinesis is actually pretty good against Chen, just because, let's say a centaur is running in from the Chen, you just telekinesis the centaur and throw him away before he gets a proper stomp, and you should be able to just easily run away still.
Yep. I actually think this time Arcanys Gaming's draft is a lot more balanced, and I think they should stop Click and Search idea of pushing that early, because we're gonna have Boars, we're gonna have Necro, I guess, again on the Beastmaster as a normal build-up. We have the Dragon Knight now, of course, with his first ultimate and the Corrosive Breath. That's quite some push. Plus we have Chen Creeps, which means there is again a death ball coming that might develop in case you really just don't make it through the early game with a decent laning. And that's something Arcanys has to get done. Anyway, let's introduce them for the viewers that just came a bit later here.
So for the side of Arcanys on the Radiant this time around, Play Hard will be playing the Bristleback, but Dosai is on the Rubik, leaving Heinrich on the Invoker, with Arcian on the Lina, and the last one for them is going to be Nay Sydney on the Clockwork.
Yeah, and Sydney, he has to be careful. He knows that like in the bottom rune, in the top rune, that might be the enemy, and the enemy is actually hiding in their own jungle at the moment. We have Yamaguchi on the Dragon Knight, behind him 4G on the Chen, hard playing on that Shadow Demon. The one who looks at the bounty rune and probably wants it is Raven, and the one who is in the offline, the Beastmaster, where I'm really curious about his performance because he can't really show much, is Mr. J.
Man, gonna be such a hard lane for the Beastmaster to be in. Oh man, I really don't expect him to get that much. Might be just going around using the board to stack Ancients and maybe clear the top later. Especially since having a Gyrocopter on their side is like so easy to clear Ancient stacks.
And well, it's a 50-50 split for the bounty runes. There's not much actually happening. Nobody really wants to engage. Of course, Arcanys, they also have to be careful. Not too careful, because they also have to be aggressive to find some kills laning stage-wise, because I think they have the nice setup for it. But yeah, you're one game behind in a best of 3. That's always something where you have to be really careful. The Beastmaster is actually doing something very interesting. He's scouting with the Hawk and eating himself away through those trees. But the problem is, if he gets spotted out, then this is really, really bad news.
Yeah, it's a risk-reward situation at the moment, although he's a little bit too far away even, because of the creep block that happened, I think, on his own side. Did he use the board to just creep block? If he did, it probably was a mistake, just because now he's not really properly in XP range, or never mind, he is, just barely though. Got himself a really nifty position there. And it's gonna take at least some time for Arcanys to figure that one out, and usually it's like when the hero is level 2. When there's an offlaner who can't really jungle all that well, you every now and then just check the levels, you see the enemy offlaner being level 2, and suddenly you go start checking the trees.
Yep. And what we need for the top lane to actually make a gank happening on that Clockwork is any creep with this, I don't know, a troll would be nice for ensnare, or a centaur. Well, a disruption directly into Rocket Barrage, into a follow-up stun, that might actually do the trick. The Gyrocopter is going for the 1-3 build here, so Flak Cannon Rocket Barrage is coming out, no rocket spam whatsoever. I mean, the Clockwork has decent regeneration anyway. He has still a stack of Tangos plus Salve. Everything should be fine for him. Of course, the Beastmaster, that's a lane. He's not gonna get anything. For him, it's really just about soaking XP, and so far his little hideout is working.
Oh, disruption? Never mind, no follow-up at all. Weirdest disruption ever, like really not even a single attack to follow that one. In the meantime, Rubik battling out the boar. Can he deny the rune? Nope. Rubik gets himself a bounty rune, kills the boar for a little bit of extra gold, but did Play Hard see Beastmaster? I don't think so. Those couple of trees
I don't think so.
Separated them.
He just went here in that little pocket. But now, oh my god, they expect this, and he's TPing out. He's TPing to the tier 1 tower, and they're still looking for him in the trees. But they know that like this tree got eaten away, or like this one, so they saw that there is a little pocket, but of course they don't find him. So nice little play by the Beastmaster. He has had a good feeling that they know where he is. How's the Invoker doing in the mid? At the moment it's 8-4, and is this Quasvex Invoker? Jesus.
Man, it's always Quasvex these days. I don't even remember when I last saw an Exort one. Although, with
I
the
can't even remember when I saw.
have, I mean, it would be nice with the Sunstrikes. You have telekinesis into Light Strike Array, easy setup. Clockwork Power Cogs, another easy setup, would allow Clockwork to go aggressive on the offlane. I mean, you're already level 3, although his skill build is exactly the same as in game number 1, going for the Rocket Flare. Otherwise, if there was an Exort Invoker, you just go for like Battery Assault and Power Cogs, and on level 2, you can already just go set up solo kills and supports.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I can't even remember when I saw Invoker the last time. At the moment, it's quite nice for some harass, especially the Cold Snap does decent damage on the DK. But then again, he got his bottle as well, so he's just fine. And of course, there's the pre-fire, and there's also now a Satire Tormentor with the Shockwave. So that's quite some damage. Heinrich has to counter heal. 3 bubbles of safety are coming out.
And that creep is one of the more annoying ones to deal with. Although the Tornado comes out, but pre-fire in return, man, it's just the mana pool that the Satyr has. He can just spam out 6 of those shockwaves, and Heinrich, well, he's still getting some last hits thanks to having double blades of attack, but it's still a nuisance. Although now the Satyr gonna go to the bottom lane, try to get a rune, I guess. Although this time around the board was successful, but there is a smoke now. Lina and Potosai coming in. We might get the first blood here.
I'm not so sure, because he's really on decent HP, and look at all the spam here. There's still 2 more 125 nukes coming out. The DK sees them so early, so no, this is absolutely not going anywhere. The illusions plus the Satire are still spamming. At least the supports are grabbing something here in the mid. Heinrich, he really gotta be careful. He can't even use the Tango that just got handed over to him, because he already used one. So this spam by Chen, it's absolutely amazing. In the meantime, he's just right-clicking golems, and that's all good for him.
Of course, as always, with like junglers like Enchantress and the Chen, if you send creeps like that, oh, in the meantime, never mind, Beastmaster, not gonna be in trouble. I thought Clayhard is gonna dive a little bit deeper for that. But if you use a creep like that to send him out, it definitely will slow down your own farm. I mean, Chen, not even level 3 yet, and that's 5 minutes in. If, let's say, you had an Enigma in the jungle, things would be so much faster, but he's doing the best he can, has a quad stack in the big camp, so all he needs now is just a Wild Wing from some of the camps.
Yep, that's a Wild Wing would do the trick, or maybe this is for the DK, you never know. I don't even think that is specifically or necessarily for the Chen himself.
Yeah, it might be them sharing it. Of course, there can be the Gyrocopter to come in, even the Beastmaster with Wild Access being there with somebody else, getting a little bit of XP because he's struggling at the moment, not getting that much farm. And of course, Ancients, they can't even stack those because there's Radiant Sentries down there.
But look at this Gyrocopter. The Gyrocopter is getting amazing farm at the moment. He's 37 and 14. The Clockwork doesn't even show in lane anymore. He's really just stuck at his tower. And this is really bad news. We have Aquila being done right now.
Oh, we're gonna get the first blood bottom lane thing though. Telekinesis is there, already slowed down, and the damage is just way too much for him to handle.
Yep, easy going there. Play hard, just get rid of that tower aggro. You actually have to be careful here. But, oh, there's a TP, but I think this is too late. There's a stun into the TP, so you have to cancel that as well. So, nice first blood and 100 gold pretty much wasted by CNS here. That's definitely nice. The Prissaback, oh, that's also very nice. Getting a haste rune on a Prissaback, that's very, very, very helpful. Especially that Beastmaster came back. Yeah, they might as well just go back on him. There, haste rune being used, and look for it. Yep, the right clicks are coming, and he can't get rid of this. Nope, that's just one more right click. Coming the other way around. Cool Spray is gonna finish it. And well, Lina, he gotta be careful with the boar slope because the DK is coming in, and Jesus Christ. Brief Fire level 4, doing so much damage now. Heinrich is coming in, no mana left pretty much on that DK, but is there enough right click damage? That's the biggest problem now. It comes down to, yeah, Quaspecs being cool for utility, but that's pretty much it. In the end, DK gets out with double murder, and Heinrich, nope. He has to also accept the fact that in top, the Clockwork went down. They dove him under the tower, which we couldn't show on camera. So much action in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I do believe they came behind even. At least their positioning when they got the kill is like Gyrocopter was around here and Shadow Demon like here. So Clockwork, Power Cogs are all well and good, but they just kind of set yourself up for the cooldown hitting you as well. So Raven, pulling ahead in last is just because the Bristleback was just more focused on getting those couple of kills there. But really nice rotation from Yamaguchi, although he almost died himself and wasted a little bit of time after getting those kills. Him getting out alive definitely made it worth it, although top lane, Lina is there, almost level 5, Disruption comes out onto him, and Clockwork doesn't have the hookshot yet to catch up, and Tower isn't in deny range either yet, so it's all fine for CNS.
No, everything is fine. The disruption was actually good, I have to say, because it was just in the cast animation of Light Striker Ray that would have given the Clockwork a nice opener on the Gyrocopter. And the Gyrocopter at this point, I mean, he only got like 900 HP. That's easy to bring down. Rubik grabs that invisibility rune. You have to see if they try to make something happen with it. But at the moment, where's he going? I go right with the camera, he's going left, now he's going right and left again. He's pretty indecisive, but it seems like it's the Beastmaster they want to go for. Heinrich would be here for Cold Snap setup after he got the Tornado EMP off. Oh, there it is, Telekinesis into the EMP, no mana whatsoever left, and now the question is there a Cold Snap? Yes, now there's a Cold Snap. Tornado, just kill secured by Heinrich.
It's just way too easy to kill a Beastmaster like that, although Beastmaster does have some pretty nice armor. Just look at his items, they're pretty much are none. He is gonna have Tranquil Boots now as he respawns, so that's gonna help out maybe a tiny bit, but he's definitely struggling. But he's about to hit level 6, he just needs like one extra creep wave. Mid lane though, Yamaguchi Cold Snap is there, can they land the Light Striker Ray? No, they cannot. And without that, just hitting, Yamaguchi just runs away.
Yep, it pretty much just comes down to, yeah, some right click damage, some harass, but the Dragon Knight, he doesn't care too much. He has stick charges, he has a bottle crowing as well, 10-minute rune will spawn. At least top now, we have some, well, some progress when it comes to siege damage. The tower using the cliff right now. Maybe the Clockwork wants to try and get this deny in because Heinrich is coming in. There's the Shadow Demon. He's going down instantly. There's the TP and Gyrocopter. Oh, this is bad news. He has a TP. He has to start it immediately. But is there anything? Pushed back by the cogs. Seer. That was not really worth it. Getting a tower, losing 2 in the process, not worth it. Now in the mid, of course, the DK is doing pretty much the same. Cliff is ready again, but, well, nobody's actually coming in. So CNS is pretty much doing what we had in the last game. If you fail in one lane, you're just gonna be successful in the other one. So top was a disaster. At least he gets mid for it.
Yeah, it's still though Invoker getting quite a bit of gold from those kills in the top lane, and since he's going for the Orchid as most Quasvex Invokers are, the earlier you get it with that item, it's just so much stronger all of a sudden. And, well, him getting extra gold does mean he's gonna get it earlier as well. And one thing I haven't seen at all almost is Chen doing, like, anything in this game. The only thing he has done is sending the Satyr Tormentor into the mid lane earlier, but bottom lane, Clockwork gonna get Primal Reward, and with the Breathe Fire, they get the kill. So that's nice, although Playhard gonna run in, might even get the kill on Beastmaster.
Yeah, but the ultimate is popping directly into EMP, so this is a Tiefless Dragon. In the end, well, we got 1 kill on the Beastmaster, pretty much the revenge kill, not making this really worth it. Is there a follow-up on the DK? Nobody's fast enough for the DK, but look at the Shadow Demon. Do they find him? Telekinesis? Nope. Just sipping out when it was about time to get discovered.
And Rubik, I think he was already starting the animation, and although Telekinesis is pretty much an instant ability, it still takes like a split second there for you to even react while getting vision like that. So a little bit unfortunate, but the tier 1 is alive, quite nicely so even. But CNS, do they have a mech coming in? Since Chen has been farming for quite a while, I expect him to be somewhat close to it, and he does need like another 500
He's pretty slow, I have
so.
to say. Like, I mean, this is not super Chen speed. He had free farm for at least the last 8 minutes where he didn't have to like micro anything for lane harass. He has quite an army build up at this point. Maybe that's the reason he should kill some of those instead of just, you know, soaking them up. There's a nice little heal also used for the Beastmaster as well as his creeps. And oh, Lina, Rubik, that's a bad position to be in. Raven already with the rocket barrage, everything's coming through. Is there enough damage? There's no rocket. EMP's gonna hit, so no more mana on his side. He has stick charges, 9 actually, but Heinrich, I don't think you can actually get him. Tornado just saying goodbye. We are back.
So both sides escaping. It was really the Dragon Knight getting initiated upon. It was Clockwork Hookshot, Light Striker Ray to follow. Even Laguna Blade was used to try to kill the Dragon Knight. But Hand of God helping out, also Disruption by Shadow Demon, buying a little bit of time. And of course, they didn't kill Dragon Knight. Arcanys didn't lose anybody themselves. So in the end, it's kind of a just wash there. But Hand of God is a pretty long cooldown. Then again, they do have Elder Dragon form on CNS, and
we have a DK with a Blink Dagger, by the way. That's very interesting. Wow. Usually we have the DKs scaling nicely around Shadow Plates and then upgrading it. But, well, a Blink Dagger makes this whole thing interesting. Initiating before you can be initiated upon. That's pretty much the credo at the moment. And, well, if, for example, if you get heroes like the Lina, the Rubik, that's very interesting. But instead they go into Roshan. Chen is bringing his entire army. So they have a nice set of aura here. There's Swiftness aura plus Unholy aura, but a Rocket Flare saying already hello. Arcanys, they know about it. The question is what they do about it.
Well, I think this was just kind of a mistake. Even though it's not the slowest Roshan that you can imagine, if they only had a Medallion of Courage, that's when you go for it, I think. I really expected like the Beastmaster to maybe have it. But they are going to get the stun to play here with the Blink Dagger. Call down to follow as well. It's going to land. And with the Soul Catcher helping out now, Demonic Purge onto Batosai. But a nice Tornado EMP will land on 3 heroes. They're completely drained of mana. Hookshot's buying some time, but they've still lost 2. Bristleback even buys back. And now Yamaguchi, he's the one who has to run away, and they're probably going to just chase him down.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no roar, no nothing. So what can actually stop this Bristleback here? He really wants to pursue him. Is there anything? Is there a ball slow? Something? 4 quill stacks? Does he get the 5th? No, it's running out. The 5th stack is not coming through. I can't even believe this. Now Heinrich also in trouble. He has a tornado in 2 seconds. 2, 3, 1. No, he dies the second he cast it. That was a very, very unclean fight. Also a very unclean fight by the Clockwork. He didn't get anyone locked in here. Rocket Flare not getting the kill on the Dragon Knight around the ruin, and now he's dying as well. No way you can escape. Chen army plus the boss, so much slow. Arcanys, that was such an unclean fight, I have to say.
I really think it was just mostly CNS playing almost the perfect fight in the situation they had. And also the Dragon Knight just kept on running. Magic Wand, turn around, Dragon Tail, and just suddenly Bristleback is down, just because once you get the Dragon Tail, a long duration stun, and that just ensures that you can actually hit the face of the Bristleback, just position yourself that way. But it was so clutch. I really thought they were going to get chased down, but...
Yeah, no, but it also the Clockwork. The Clockwork was for me a big question mark, because he got a hookshot on the Gyrocopter, but he wanted to use the cogs in a way that he gets both people pushed back by the cogs instead of locking the Gyrocopter in. So I'm not really sure where this one is going. Anyway, they go back directly into Roshan. We have 50 minutes in, so it's a nice Roshan timer. And Arcanys, they accept this. There's just no way to do anything. There is a Rocket Flare flying, but it doesn't really help with anything. It's just taking some HP off them. The fact is still, Dragon Knight now equipped with the Aegis, making things a lot harder. You saw how hard he was to kill in the last fight. Now he has a second life, and that's of course bad news for Arcanys.
And just... Dragon Knight... Of course, maybe not the best hero to carry the Aegis in general, just because you die, you lose your Elder Dragon form. And, well, he's gonna lose it soon enough anyway, just because the duration is gonna wear off, but he's pretty tanky, like you mentioned. But those
they transition directly into a push. That's what they do right now here. Dragon Knight, the ultimate is still up, so why not using the residual one? It's just for another 5 seconds or so. But yeah, it's probably enough for a nice tier 2 tower. EMP coming through. Actually, well, connecting quite to some people here. The Dragon Knight is completely out of mana, but he could just stick up. Yeah, stick up, easy going. We have Arcane Boots, Mac, so they can actually get back on this one.
Hold on, will follow. Light Strike Ray buys some time. But the telekinesis is just not enough on top of that. So
even the hookshot missed there, like 5 years to hit, and it actually just went through the group of 2 and 3. And look, tasty little stack on the way back. That's perfect. You just got Roshan, you got a tier 2 tower, and after you retreat, after you get even 1 kill, you say like, oh look, there's a triple stack Ancients. Let's just go for it. Yum yum.
Oh, it's so fast for them to clear those up as well. Especially Gyrocopter maxed out Flat Cannon, having so many charges on that one. So if we look at the graphs now, it used to be a rather even game for like the first 10 minutes or so, but now Click and Search, their lineup, this is where they're the scariest, like early to mid game transition phase and just going for a push during that. Now they have a Hand of God, it's still level 1, but they also have a mech on top of that.
Yeah.
How many Arcane Boots are they running with though? It's only the one set at the moment, so the EMP can still screw them over somewhat.
Yep. But the truth is, oh my god, in the mid, there's a nice initiation by the Dragon Knight already. I think, yeah, Lina is gonna be the one who suffers, the Raw even being used on him. Better safe than sorry. Raw is a low cooldown. Anyway, the Rubik, well, is there any vision on it? I don't think they have vision, so no stun follow-up. And in the end, maybe they go on the gyrocopter here instead. Heinrich, he wants revenge for the Lina. There's the slow, there's the EMP, and now the Bristleback is coming in as well. I don't think he's gonna survive this, but he's gonna do some damage before all that. Dragonite being pushed back and with no way to follow up. So at least he gets some value revenge kill here. A Lina is something you can give away. A gyrocopter is something that shouldn't die. So a bit overextending here by click and search.
Yeah, it was really awkward him just being alone like that there, and that one kill gave 1.4k gold to the side of Arcanys just because, well, Gyrocopter, highest net worth in the game. So with that, there's the Orchid finished on the Invoker, so next time around he can even just go for such a kill solo, just Orchid, Cold Snap to follow, EMP as well.
Yeah.
So that's looking good for them, but CNS in the meantime. Medallion of Courage picked up on Heart's Shadow Demon. Plus, I did see something else getting picked up. Oh, it was a Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster as well as the Blink Dagger now on the DK, which we already talked about. So they have a double initiation. Oh, but top, what's going on here? Heinrich trying to TP out. There is a disruption still. That was a, well, not a good try. We still have no roar, but who needs a roar when you have everything on you? Like, especially here, Soul Catcher is level 4 already. So 50% bonus damage, entire Chen army behind you. You can't really get away. Oh, nay, Sydney. There's the initiation. Dragon Tail directly into his face. The roar is ready in case he runs. Blade Mail sure does some damage on the enemy, but not enough to actually scare them off.
This is just turning out to be a straight out disaster for Arcanys. I mean, I have to applaud them for at least trying to go for pickoffs like that, but although Invoker can be extremely strong with the Orchid, it's just CNS providing too much backup. Play hard now, forced to TP out from the cooldown and the Rocket Barrage. And well, they're also gonna lose it tier 2.
This is another tier 2. The ultimate being popped by the Dragonite anyway, not for the fight, just really for this push here. By now it's level 11, so level 2 ultimate. He has the splash on top of it. They get the easy tower, double damage even running on that Dragonite. So this is not a fight you want to engage in at the moment. And look at this Chen army at the moment with those skeletons. It looks so much. They're even blocking each other all the time. It's like, let me through, let me through. Oh my god, no, wait, let me through.
And skeletons should be the last ones. They're like the babies. They should always be behind.
Yeah, they should know the hierarchy of a Chen army. Like, let the big ones through and you go last.
Yeah, they should start like learning or getting face boots for themselves. Get the ability to run.
Oh, look at this EMP. Catching out hard, not actually hitting. It was really just a tornado. But, I mean, Heinrich does some good plays. The problem is that, I don't know, not much damage is actually following up on him. That's the biggest problem. And also the Bristleback. The Bristleback last game was pretty much the core, the tanky core. They wanted to balance everything around. This game, we have exactly the same, but he's just not tanky enough. I mean, against this team, against things like Soul Catcher, where you get 50% additional damage, like a mech plus a Ring of Basilos doesn't cut it. It just doesn't cut it. By now, he needs more items, especially because now the Dragonite also finished his BKB, and they started their push again. That it's the same.
Oh, we have a Blink Roar on the Clockwork, but it's just so far from the others. But never mind, Dragonite gets his own Blink with the Dragon Tail to follow. Oh,
the power of 2 Blink Daggers, it's never really too far away. You have the Blink Roar into the Blink Dragon Stun. That's easy. Dragon Tail is what, at this point with 2 points, 2.75, and the Roar is
3.5.
I don't know, 3.5. So yeah, you stand there for like 7-8 seconds, easy going. But let's see what's happening here. They try to play high ground, no Clockwork. Even the rocket spam is now coming out. Play hard is the one to be targeted. Look at this damage on the tower. There's no cliff available whatsoever. They try to spam everything out, but even the Chen army is still live and well. And well, let's see. Play hard being stunned face first with the Soul Catcher. So much damage already on him. Even the Chen putting all the burst into him, and there it is. Clockwork again coming just too late. Raven not losing enough HP, and even if they get someone there, still the Aegis, if I'm not mistaken. No, never mind. That one is down. When did it run out, Couchor? Just before that fight?
Oh no, it has been away for
but
like
there's a
minute and
turnaround. Again, the stun. Oh my goodness, Clockwork just not getting anything, and even Arshin now. There's the rocket to follow up. Play hard. Well, good wall. Actually, a very good wall. This way they get something done, but look at Yamaguchi. He really wants it, but of course the Bristleback is on him. There's the Roar. This time at least the back is on the other side, so he dishes out some damage with the Quill Spray, but not enough. They're all low. Laguna Blade. Fuck you, Blade. Pretty much in the Beastmaster's face, but that doesn't change anything. We have a godlike Yamaguchi again. The Death Ball is rolling. The Rex are lost. It's just the initiation that doesn't work out by Arcanys. A tornado, sure, just for good measures.
They just lack the damage to bring down like a Dragon Knight, especially when he has his BKB activated. Even Gyrocopter without the BKB still has 1500 health, so it's just tough for them. They don't have the damage. They really, once again, with their lineup, needed to get a better start early on in the game, but just unable to do so, and now they're getting pushed in. They lose the first set of racks, and to be honest, I really don't see too much of a way for them to come back into this game. There's still a chance because CNS are so far ahead, so just getting a kill on like a Gyrocopter, a Dragon Knight, it will yield so much XP and net worth.
Yeah, the Dragon Knight at the moment is worth a fortune. I mean, he's on godlike streak, so that really hurts. But let's see, Heinrich, maybe he makes something happen. Could go on the Gyrocopter, but the Chen creeps. The Chen creeps already know what's happening. It's not even a Chen creep at that point, it was really just them being slowed by the Ghost Walk, so he just gave it away right there. But yeah, I have to share your pessimism, I have to say, because like this looks too much of a replicate of the first game. Like farming 15 minutes, then starting to push S5 after you did the first Roshan. The timer of the Roshan was exactly the same in the last game. So what's happening? Clockwork, he doesn't really get the right initiations, and if he gets those, then there's no follow-up. The Bristleback, I already mentioned it, just not tanky enough. Now he finished his Vanguard, but Jesus, a Vanguard right now doesn't really change anything, to be honest. Because look at the damage he got and how he died most of the time. It was really Soul Catcher and a lot of magic damage.
But one thing from the last fight that I saw that I don't know exactly if it happened like that, but Tornado, since it purges off positive buffs from the targets they hit, it actually also removed the send pack of the Chen, because last fight Chen used the send pack on the Gyrocopter, then the Tornado came and it cancelled the send pack, so that's one nice thing that can be used if timed correctly, but...
Okay, so every time you see a Chen, you're gonna pick Invoker from now on.
Of course. But Chen, speaking of him, he has an Aghanim's now.
Well, the Yule Scepter would work as well, so that's just fine. And yeah, Aghanim Scepter, of course, that's also pretty nice, so... Well, he gets Ancients now, and to be honest, they couldn't clear the Chen army before that, and if we get Ancients now, like that big fat granite golem, I just don't see it happening.
They even have a Helm of the Dominator for Gyrocopter, so they have an Alpha Wolf with that. There's really a zoo, man. There's
yeah.
So many creeps.
Well, this is what?
The Boar, the Hawk.
But no Necros. So, to be honest, it's not the highest possible amount of zoo you can actually get. So you have 1 creep by the Gyrocopter, 4 by the Chen, 2 by the Beastmaster. If he goes for a...
Necrobook.
Yeah, for a Necrobook we have 2 more. So it's quite something.
Well, to be honest, there's one point in the game where like too many units become a burden just because they are going to be blocking everybody. But if you just want to see like the tier 4s, tier 3s rather, you just put the Ancient Golem ahead, and since you have only a 30-second cooldown on Hand of God, it just takes so long for the Golem to die in the first place.
Yeah.
And with the Hand of God, it's going to be back to full health.
And look at this, they did Roshan, it was scouted out by a Sunstrike and a Rocket Flare, but by the time they scouted it, Roshan was already on so low HP, no way to do anything. They go directly into a smoke, show in mid, at least the Gyrocopter does, and I think Arcanys, they know that like a push is coming, it's absolutely imminent. The question is now, how well can they actually defend it? Like last time back to the fountain, buyback status, it's not looking good. Only one buyback on this pitch at the moment is the Gyrocopter and the Dragon Knight, and the Dragon Knight of course also now equipped with, well, you say it, the Aegis.
And now Chen brings in his army, a Tornado being channeled here as well. We'll see if he's actually going to micro it to the correct position, because at the moment the Tornado is just standing still. But blink forward, the Primal Roar comes out. Yamaguchi follows with his BKB, the Dragon Tail as well. But can they get Batosai Rubik? What a cute small dragon he was, but he's not as tanky as the Dragon Knight still. So they get the 1-kill play hard, runs in, takes too much damage and forced to back out.
Yeah, but there's no EMP. Nice Tornado coming through. The mech is counter-healing all this, and yeah, there the melee Rex goes. And nice initiation here. They want to go on the Lina. It's a really soft target. Laguna Plate not even being used. Another beyond godlike for Yamaguchi, and they're like, guys, we can finish it right here, right now. 2 supports down. The Clockwork bought back, but how can he actually change something about it? He's going in with the Plate Mail, but look at his HP, and look what he does with the Plate Mail. It's not much. Now Bristleback is trying to do something here against the Dragon Knight, but GG has been called. Like, this just doesn't work out. The Invoker, the follow-up after the Bristleback, nothing is working as Arcanys wanted it. In the end, we have Click and Surge congratulations to you. They proceed, and Arcanys. To be honest, I think for me it's 50-50. 50 draft, 50 team composition and team play.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, they really have to work on their drafting. Maybe they just haven't had enough time to adapt to the patch. Some teams, they just take longer to adapt to the new meta coming out, but we'll see. They're definitely going to keep on playing. I mean, they've been around for quite some time already in the scene, so hopefully they're just not going to be too taken aback by this, and we'll just power through.
Anyway, I wish them all the best, but of course, biggest congrats to CNS. It looked really good. I mean, it was the same strategy all over, but it still looked good. Anyway, guys, my name is Heflamoke. I was casting here with Mr. Couchor. You're here on HeflaTV. We didn't have those games somewhere on Join Dota or Gozo Gamers. You had it on D2L, so I hope you found the stream. I hope the next days we're gonna get this tickered. But of course, if you always want to have live news when games are going online, etc., you can just go to our Twitter, or for the people in Southeast Asia, then use our Facebook. That helps us a lot. The VODs will be uploaded immediately, as usual, as you know from HeflaTV, right away after the game. That's what I do right now. Well, I say thank you for watching, and see you soon, guys.